Welcome back, troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Hey, Kahaya has sponsored another giveaway, so all you have to do is visit the link that's in the description and tell me your favorite thing about this gig bag. And Kahaya has specified USA only giveaway, I'm sorry. End your comment with US and I will do a random drawing in about a day or two. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and actually watch my videos so you know when I do the giveaway. And if you could have an email listed on your account, that'll be good, because I only give you 3 days to claim your prize before I move to the next person. So what they sent me this time is their Big Mac Daddy Deluxe Gig Bag. So last time we saw their cheapest one, it was like 20 bucks. This one is double that price. It looks like a it looks like a cooler. But it arrives in that little box, and this one's supposed to be ultra padded. Okay, I see what they did. They folded it up within itself. Alright, so this definitely has a lot more padding than last time. I mean, look at this. But it's also quite expensive. I mean, you could buy a really cheap hard shell case around the same price point. But some people just prefer the feel of a gig bag. Oh, that's a nice little feature. Do you see what they've done here? They have Velcro, so you can move it to wherever it would best fit your neck. So let's say I had a tiny little guitar, like this one. Traditionally in a gig bag it'd be like here, so that wouldn't do me any good. So this one, I can do this, then strap it down, and despite this being a giant gig bag with maybe a little extra padding, you could technically use it. But it seems like it has ample room for even like the crazier body styles. I think that would fit a crazy BC Rich. But I almost feel like this might be better suited for an acoustic guitar, because there is quite a bit of extra space. So let's give this a try here. I'm not really sure what this one would be best suited for. The zipper's pretty nice on this. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break. So it works well for an acoustic, and I think it's padded enough that you'd be happy with that. It's got those same bumpers on the bottom like last time. And this time the straps actually get some padding in it too, so those would be a little bit more comfortable. But I guess the one critique I would have for this, it just doesn't seem like this neck block is big enough to support an acoustic guitar. I mean, you see how it's not actually touching down? So I'm not sure if it's meant for acoustic or electric or what's going on, but it's padded. You've got quite a few compartments here. Right here, there's another one right there. Maybe you need a music stand in there. So that's a quick look at this deluxe gig bag. If you want to win one, just follow the instructions. But our first unboxing of the day, is it a brand new Les Paul Classic Ebony? I don't think so, because I've actually already reviewed that model. You can check that out here. You know, those brand new Les Paul Classics, they're pretty nice, but what actually stood out the most to me from the 2019 lineup are those standards, the 60s and 50s. Those really are some of the nicest guitars that Gibson have produced in a while, if you find a good one anyways, right? So it appears I have a gig bag in here with a bunch of plastic as padding. Which honestly, while it might not seem like the best packing material in the world, it does help eat up that dead space. So that seemed to do its job pretty alright. Oh my! That's a surprise. I really didn't think this would be Gibson branded. That's kind of funny. We could compare the Kahaya to the gig bag. I mean, this has similar padding, but honestly, I think this is more padded. But they are a similar size. So let's go ahead and get this open. What could possibly be in a Gibson gig bag? Huh. So, I've had quite a few requests to do this model. Not this particular one. They wanted to see the 335, but it's the 339 version that came to me first. It's kind of like a 335, but a shrunken down size. And it just has one pickup. A lot of people say this is the cheapest way to get the Blink 182 guy's signature guitar. You just take one of these and refinish them. But it looks like somebody played this one so much they actually wore through the finish but you can just barely feel that. That was something that made me go, huh, should I buy it or should I not? And another funny story with this one is I bought it and like almost a week had passed, so I emailed the guy. It's like, is this going to ship soon? And he was brutally honest with me. I'm sorry, I forgot about you. I am surprised to see that there's like no neck rest in here for a Gibson branded gig bag. So, I mean, that's something that's got going for it. But, you know, I'm actually pretty excited to do this review. I like one pickup guitars. I don't like them as much when they're one humbucker, but I don't know. They're just kind of quirky. Honestly, after that Slash double neck guitar, that episode took 3 days to do. I'm looking forward to something a little bit more simple. This next one I'm a little bit excited to open because it's a thank you package from Sweetwater. Somebody, I forget what country they're from, but it was overseas. They bought a Dragon Telecaster, you know, that new, I think it's the Made in Mexico version. And they said the reason why they knew of Sweetwater is because of my videos. So they told their Sweetwater guys that, and they called me and said, hey, we want to thank you for, you know, giving us a positive referral. I mean, even as you'll find out later today, even if something goes wrong with the Sweetwater order, they're usually pretty quick to make things right. So we got one packet of candy. Oh, nice. 2, 3, 4. A simple referral gets me just as much candy as a $13,000 guitar. Cool. So they sent me a little t-shirt here for that. Take a quick look at it here. That's actually a pretty cool design. I would wear that. Thank you, Sweetwater. And if I remember correctly, this is a recent eBay purchase. I felt bad because I agreed to purchase this guitar from this guy, but I had to delay payment for a few days because I just got my resale certificate. That way I could get out of paying sales tax on things that I buy for resale. So that's kind of why I've not been buying a lot of stuff, because I've been trying to get that all in the works. I'm now set up with Sweetwater, so anything new that I get that I'm doing strictly for resale and review, I don't have to pay sales tax. So that's how things like the Slash EDS 1275 were possible for me. But eBay still hasn't verified my certificate like Reverb and everybody else has. So I just went ahead and paid the man. I'll let my tax lady go about getting the refund for that. Because just in case you don't know, a bunch of new states just got added to that. So pretty much every single state, it doesn't matter where you live anymore, you're going to pay sales tax on used guitar purchases. Even if it's just from an individual seller. Which I don't personally think that's right. But I could definitely see why a state would want to do that. They're going to make a bunch of money now. But this thing was packed very well, but with some of my least favorite packing materials because they're messy. But that's okay. I can clean up a mess eventually. And I think you guys will like this one. Alright, so brown Gibson case. That usually means it's a 90s Gibson when they look this old. I mean, it could also mean early 2000s. Sadly, somebody forgot the combination of their combo lock, took it off. Let's see if we can break it real quick. And these 90s cases, those ones are hard to do. The 2000s cases, they're so much easier. Someone said if you do it the opposite way, sometimes that's easier. But some of these are just tricky, so we'll have to do it the manual way. Of course, it'd have to be something in the higher registers, right? I have a feeling it's something in the 700s, though, 'cause that keeps wanting to move. Okay, so apparently I just scrolled past it. Alright, there we go. After scrolling through all of them, and then I went back to the other technique. You can kind of feel when these ones start doing it right. Remember I was telling you it was around the lucky 7s? So once you're at that point, that'll tell you at least where to play around it. So this case was 769. Let's go ahead and reset this back to 000. That way, if anybody wishes to install that back in there, maybe it'll be in the case and we'll get lucky. We can actually use it. For a more detailed video on Combo Lock Breaker, you could check this one out. I just did that one recently, but let's go ahead and get inside this case now. So this is just a regular Les Paul, but there's something special about it. This is why you remove toggle switches, guys. That's unfortunate. Usually you can super glue these back together, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. But yeah, that's why you remove these prior to shipment. Because finding a 90s era correct switch tip, surprisingly difficult. And we have a random screw in here. That's from the pick guard. I bet that escaped from in here. That's why I always suggest if you have anything in the case, wrap it up in some bubble wrap or something, because you'd be surprised what can escape from these things. But look at this finish, guys. This is, you know, a little known, kind of rare finish from the 90s that most people don't even realize it exists. And they'll list it as like a strange looking wine red. I'm not going to tell you what the actual color is called in this episode. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to leave that for the full review and demo. But this has been a tough one to find at a reasonable price, and it's got a nice little flame top to it as well. And now for our last unboxing for this episode. The saga continues with this mysterious seller. I think it was about 2 episodes ago when I told you I was going to start doing the Fender Friday stuff as actual Fenders. And I told you about the seller that could, you know, sell me guitars at such crazily good prices. And then I told you about the one that was left in his shop that seemed to have a more regular price. So I actually contacted him again about the other one because it's like, I'm interested in this guitar. Can you do a similar price? And at first it was, no, it's brand new. I need to get this price. So it's like, okay, maybe he just had a moment of weakness. He needed money for the last couple of deals. But I left one of those earworm offers where if you would ever accept this price, please let me know. And it only took about 3 days, and then he came back and said, can you do $25 more? It's like, okay, man, I'll give you your $25. Because I had fun checking out that last Fender, so here we go again. Another Fender guitar. Now, I haven't received any trade offers that I've like finalized. There's one I'm interested in. It's like a custom shop Jaguar or something like that. So we'll have to see how that one develops. Let's go ahead and open her up, see what's inside. The Telecaster. So this is the chambered Telecaster. Now, out of the 3 Tellies, this is my least favorite. But it's kind of goofy and I like it. But I really want to document the other 2 rarities Telecasters. But yeah, this thing's brand spanking new. Still has the thing over the humbucker, wide range humbucker thing. And yes, finally, I get a Fender that has the goopy finish. I mean, it's not heavily goopy or anything, but this is what I think of when I think of Fender neck. I have to try not to talk so much about these, leave something for the review, but yeah, I dig Telecasters, and this one, it's goofy. And now we get to pack this one up, the Slash EDS 1275. I'm so happy I bought this guitar to actually experience a double neck, as well as document this cool limited edition version of it. But I was shocked to see what sells for as new on this one. So I'll let you watch that video to get updated on the details of that, but here's the resolution story. So I reached out to Sweetwater, the place I got it from, and I was like, hey, I think Gibson sent you guys a dud. And they offered to replace it for me, no problems at all, and give me a very nice serial number in exchange. The very last one, 125. At that point, I was like, oh, I wish I could have got that one at first. But I wanted to see the detailed photos. Because some people were curious, is that crack actually in Slash's original one? And that's like an attention to detail thing. Here's the photo. Nope, that was a custom shop whoopsie. However, the truss rod looked the same on that 12 string, so I'm not an expert on building guitars, but I'm not comfortable paying $13,000 and getting a guitar that has limited adjustability, especially on a model like this that's prone to warping. I mean, 12 strings, that must be pretty hard on a neck. But unfortunately, this one just didn't work out for me. Maybe that Brian Ray signature Jr. will be better. The next item I sold was this little guy. Do you have any ideas of what this thing is? It's a Gibson S1 pickup. I believe the G3 bass used the same pickups too, something similar anyways. I got this in a lot of pickups. Most of the things have sold. I think I had like 2 sets of Marauder pickups and a few S1s. I do have one of these left. I mean, if I was better with wiring and actually knew what these things were doing, I would like wire up a Stratocaster with these. Or just put them in some other guitar, because these things are freaky, and I love the sound of Marauders and S1s. But this is going up to Canada. Let's get it all packed up. Lots of stuff going out today. I've got to say about this one though, I am really thankful that I have my YouTube channel and just have kind of built this whole guitar community that, you know, it allows me to buy a guitar like this. Because just a random Joe Schmo trying to sell this guitar, they might not have the reach to get to that right buyer. Because not everybody knows about these things, but I'm so happy that I was able to document one so we could learn all about the Mickey Baker Master Tone. It really didn't take too long to sell. I kind of got beat up on the price, but I guess when you really think about it, this one's kind of been modified a little bit. I mean, everything's back to stock originality now, except for like the nut. But if it wasn't for that other one on eBay that was only at $5,000, I definitely wouldn't have sold this one for as cheaply as I did, but it's going to a great home. Somebody who was watching the channel, just waiting for that right guitar to show up. Honestly, I would probably keep this one if I was doing my museum collection. That's all I have for this unboxing Boxing Day. This one actually kind of got long, but I hope you enjoyed watching it anyways. And hey, don't forget to leave that comment with US at the end for your chance to win that gig bag by Kahaya. Take care.